Hey everybody, Retro Souls here. I wanted to do a bit of an update video since I haven't done one since I did the name change, and there's other things I want to talk about too. One, I've gone strictly to retro games and Souls games. No, I haven't done a Souls game on here yet, but I have some stuff up and coming shortly in the future that should be really, really good. Move my mic here a second. Um, Currently what's coming out is the last episode of 13, which was yes, the remastered edition, but it still came out like still had all the same mechanics and everything that the previous iteration came up with. They didn't add anything new but graphics. So I prefer remasters versus remakes. Um, I've got Pokemon Stadium Pika Cup coming up. I'm not gonna do all of Pokemon Stadium at the same time because it'll start to get monotonous to me, and I'll just lose interest. So that's coming up. I've also got what's after that? Street Fighter 2 with Ryu. And it's not like, championship or worldwide edition or, special. It's just base Street Fighter 2. It's what I grew up with. It's what I had and what I initially started off with. So that's what I'm presenting to you currently. I will probably do more iterations of it in the future, but it'd be a long while off because I don't want to, keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's why I easily get tired of Minecraft or easily get tired of sometimes Souls games as well. Um, After that is going to be Cruising World for the N64. I absolutely not Cruising World, Cruising USA. I'll be doing Cruising World soon enough. Trust me. I absolutely love the soundtrack to that game. It's absolutely fantastic. But I'd never done Cruising USA. I'd played it on an arcade cabinet years and years ago, and um, I had the cartridge at some point, but I was dumb youth and gave it away, or sold it, or traded in, or something. After that, I have some more stuff coming up. I recently started dumping my PS2 games onto my computer because I don't know if my PS2 is quite as good anymore. I need to really clean them out and do some good maintenance on them. But I did dump some of the games that I wanted to using my own discs. And if you have questions whether I'm using my own discs, yeah, I'm using my own PS2 catalog. Um, and just using an emulator called PC. It's called PSX or whatever 2. The PS2 emulator. I'm going to be using that. It's had good results so far in my testing. I'm also going to be recording straight off my Xbox because the Xbox emulator Zemu XEMU, I can't get any disc reading because they follow a special format called an XISO, and I can't get it working for whatever reason. Even I would need to buy a special I've tried downloading ROMs and converting them, but it just doesn't work for some reason. I can't turn one of the ISOs I download into a game. It won't read them for some reason. So I kind of gave up on that for now. But I have an original Xbox. Um, I might be able to get it working. It's the AV cables are a little funny, I think. So they're kind of old. So I might be getting some new cables shortly in the future to be doing original Xbox games. I've got tons of Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and 64 games to do. I got to get my Genesis catalog and Game Gear and Sega 32X and Sega CD and Dreamcast. I've still got a lot of games I got to recover. I had a large catalog of the ones I dumped, but yeah, as you can see, most of my games are up there behind me, including Xbox 360, which I'll do once the next generation comes out, like PS6, Xbox 100 billion or whatever now they're calling it. Atari 2600 is that way. I need to get another Atari 2600 so I can record those, or I could use the emulator as well. I prefer to play them through the computer so I can just capture them a little bit easier. But I do want to record off my own consoles as well if I get the opportunity to do so. Um, controller issues. I don't have a lot of controllers, and I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really go out and buy a lot of controllers. Um, that's pretty much the update portion of that of this. I do have a lot more games coming in the future, as well as I want to start doing some Souls runs. I thought about doing the Elden Ring Convergence mod to start out because it is a lot of fun, and I absolutely adore Elden Ring. I actually have completed it to where I've gotten all 42 achievements. I'm very proud of that fact because only 8% of players, not even 9% of players, have actually done that, which is really shocking because the game is a lot of fun. I played through it numerous times. Um, 1 second. Okay, I'm back to recording. Couldn't tell us the pause button was. My son was showing me a really cool video of Melania dying to like just super buffed guy, like just. I'm like, okay. Anyway, Convergence mod is. Uh, I fall in love with Elden Ring. I want to bring a lot of Elden Ring content to this channel. It's the reason why half of my name is Souls or Soul, depending on whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. It's because I love Souls games. Souls games, they have a very special place in my heart for one reason. My grandfather passed away March 9th, 2017. And it left a really big hole in my heart because I was raised by my grandparents. And we were living with them, helping take care of them during their golden years because they were having a hard time. And when he passed away, I didn't know what to do with myself. So I turned to video games because it's always been, video games have always been my savior when I'm not doing well in my head, in my heart. So that's when I discovered the original Dark Souls, not remastered, Prepare to Die edition. And I was going through it my first time, and people were yelling at me for not being out there and with family talking about stuff and dealing with that. But that's how I deal with death. I don't deal with it. I just let it slide because it's not good for me to bottle it up. I have a different view on death than a lot of people do, and people don't understand that. Um, Later on, I think it was my dad's girlfriend at the time came and apologized, and she said, "I understand now. This is how you grieve. This is how you process grief." And I'm like, "Yeah, I played death. I played really hard games to just force my mind to not focus on that kind of stuff." So Dark Souls pretty much saved me in a very dark place that I was at the time. And I've been playing them ever since. I've beaten 1, 2, 3, um, Elden Ring. I don't really care for Bloodborne that much. Sorry, guys. You want to see Bloodborne content on my channel? I don't care for it. Um, and Demon Souls, I probably will be doing Demon Souls pretty soon. I've never beaten it, but I want to, and it's much harder than any of the other Souls games. So I'm going to tell you that right now. Dark Souls 2 doesn't hold a candle to it because Dark Souls 2 at least has bonfires in multiple locations in an area to where Demon Souls, you get one till you beat a boss. And that trudge back is a long. But it's going to be fun. But the Convergence mod, back to what I was trying to say before, the Elden Ring Convergence mod is basically a separation of storylines built for each individual character. Like there's ones that are just swords, ones that are twin blades, bows, blah blah blah, hunter. There's ones for just glintstone, sorcerers. One that focuses on gravity magic. One that focuses on ice, fire, frenzied fire magic, bestial incantations, um, godskin incantations. I mean, there's so many good ones. I recently almost beat, but got erased, the Godskin Cerebrant, which is one of the classes, and they focus on Godskin flame incantations, which do a percentage base damage every time it hits. It's so many options. It's called Soul Burn, but it's very fun. Very much, I very much enjoyed it very much. Sorry, my speech is not very well. I've not gotten much sleep the last few days. But I want to do some more Souls content coming up too, and really present myself as a really good. Oh, I'm not a really good player, but I enjoy them, especially Elden Ring. Elden Ring and Dark Souls 1. I'd probably say are my two faves. Um, Dark Souls 2, I think, gets a very bad rap for being too difficult when you can get through it fairly easily if you just take your time and don't try to rush through it. The game is a lot harder, I'll give you that, than Dark Souls 1, but I think it's over prejudiced on how difficult it actually is. Dark Souls 3 is, to me, harder than Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 can be incredibly difficult because there's not that many places to really sit and farm souls as often. Um, but that's pretty much what I want to say. I want to also reiterate that I'm still on Windows, but am going to be switching to more uh, Linux-based content too as well. I know I had a previous video where I installed Pokemon Infinite Fusion on Linux Mint, and now people are messaging me, well, it doesn't work anymore. Well, there was an update to it where now it downloads via a .bat file instead of a .exe, just including the entire game. So it would work prior to patch 5.0. So I need to re-edit that video's title to include that before I forget. I'll probably write up this video. But a lot of people seem to be very happy with that, and it's very easy to do. You just use Steam's Proton Windows layer. It's basically a window of a program called Wine, which is a compatibility layer to allow you to use Windows programs in Linux. I got to delve more into it, but that's what I've got. Um, but I hope you guys enjoy the content that I provide. I'm very happy to provide this content. Gaming has been a very large part of my life for quite a few years now. I doubt it's going anywhere for me, as no matter what my life changes, video games are always there for me, kind of thing. So I thank you guys very much for following, for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in the comment sections in the videos. I'll see you guys next time.